What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great night enjoying this sicko season. I know I'm not. I'm just pretending nothing is real and football is over. Playoffs don't matter. Nothing is happening. We're just moving right along, baby. You sickos. Appreciate each and every one of you tuning in here. Hope you're having a great week. It has truly sucked every day since the loss. I wake up pissed off. Get to hear about it. I'm sure you're all feeling the same. So I thought, well, why not? Come on in here and give you some content where we can just try to suppress everything and pretend it didn't happen while we all are dying inside. So, anywho, appreciate you all. Hope you're having yourselves a great week. And if you have any questions, comments throughout this show, truly appreciate you. But you know how sicko season goes. We roll right along, give you all the content you need to know for the off season, whether it be about the cap space, the free agents, the draft stuff that's coming up. I mean, you've got a lot coming your way. So I'm going to continue pumping out the content. You keep tuning in. And look, I appreciate all of you. I really do. And I know that this season ended much sooner than we had hoped. And this team played like pure ass and wanted to continue to just do the same things and expect something different. So, look, we broke the game down. We talked about the things that needed to be fixed. We've talked about the coaching, things, of that nature. But right now, we're going to get into the free agents, and there are a lot of them, 22 to be exact. So we're going to take a look here, and we do this every year, but we'll take a look at the cap space that we have and kind of, makes a difference as to how many people you're signing, what you're doing here, what your game plan is. We'll take a look at not only, I actually added the next couple of years too, so you can see, maybe you want to sign someone, add some dummy years, things like that. So we can do that. And we're going to look also, of course, at the full list by player, stay or go. We're going to talk about it here. So I want to hear who you want to stay or go. And look, I know a lot of you are going to name certain players that are not free agents, and do not fear. As you saw last night, sicko season, the beginning, I made a show just to give you an idea of what's coming your way. And one of the shows that always happens, and I know you guys really enjoy, is the 10 ways the Eagles, and if there's more, if I feel I should add them, I will, but always try to find 10 ways the Eagles can create cap space. And we'll show you, certain players that I know you guys are looking to get rid of, and you're hearing people, 17 million dead cap for James Brett. Incorrect. Post June 1st cuts, I try to explain them every year. We're starting to see some of the media understand it, how things work there. But until then, we're going to keep rocking with this stuff, and we'll go through it. But again, I would love to hear what you guys have on your mind. I'm going to jump over to the comments here quick, and then we'll jump right into this bad boy, give you that content that I know you're craving, because I can't do it, man. It's too much chaos. I'm just really staying away from social media, just posting stuff, trying to enjoy myself, because I've been going through enough the past couple of months. But appreciate you tuning in, Tiffany. Hope you're doing well. Tank, my man. Let's go. Big Jim in here. Let's effing go. So, should he stay or should he go down? Yeah, we'll see if they should or should not. And look, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts throughout this. I've got some stats to go with it, the snaps, to give you an idea of how important they were at each position. So we're going to talk about all of it. China in here. Let's go, little G. We've got a party going on up in here. That's what I like to see. And I'm all about having a better season. Don't want to go out like that. And worst be pissed off or apathetic to the team. Yo, honestly, I for 37 years, I've been an Eagles fan, and I've felt many of downs, but I've had my ups, obviously. I love my team. But this year, I just so pissed off about the fact that they had so much talent. They showed us earlier in the season what they could do, and I try to have hope. I try to break down what they could do, and each week spit right in my face. We're not doing it. We're not running the ball. No quick throws. Not going to help Jalen Hurts against the blitz. This defense is going to continue to look lost at sea. Hey, let's go ahead and demote the defensive coordinator. Add a guy that's going to really have these guys lost at sea. Oh, perfect. So I really just felt like a punching bag the entire year. And at this point, it's like, all right, dude, F you. And honestly, I had a lot of ideas for this offseason. I'm like, you know what? I really, I like getting into the draft crazy with you guys. So why not get a lot of this information you need to know? We can touch up on it, throughout the weeks, throughout the all season. But I'll have recaps on this stuff. I always try to keep you up to date with everything. But then, we'll get into the draft stuff. And I go crazy there. So we'll talk about every damn position in the draft, where the Eagles should go, where they should be looking, where they need to get younger, all that stuff you want to know. And I'll be going for year 6, predicting the Eagles' first selection. So let's see what we can do here. But you sickos, man, can't thank you enough for tuning in here. Teresa, let's go. And yeah, it was truly crazy to see the way this season ended. Yo, AJ, appreciate you tuning in, my man. And trade Nick. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, that's always funny when you see, trade James Bradbury. Look, ain't nobody trading for these people. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with the cap space. Appreciate you all. But let's take a look here, what we're working with. So 2024, this season, right now, we have 28.5 mil. So that's a lot. Someone said to me earlier today, hey, not a lot of money to it. Yeah, that is actually a plenty. We had around that last season, and you can sign a lot of guys. You remember, I show you all the cap hits for these players we do sign. A lot of those guys were under 5 million, pretty much every single guy we signed. So keep that in mind. Most of them under 3. So you're really looking at, drafting players. You're going to be signing free agents, but we do want to talk about our guys, and see who we want to bring back here, where we would like to allocate this money. But we've got it, and we've got money the next couple. You always see people, well, that Jalen Hurts contract. Yeah, I broke that down as well. I don't know why people that don't understand the cap always try to talk about it, but yeah, we're fine with the Jalen Hurts contract, and he has restructures built into it. So the cap space will be fine. And you could see over 40 million and then almost 70 million the following year. And keep in mind that the cap space goes up, and it could definitely be going up there. So those numbers obviously will change. But look, man, we're sitting pretty when it comes to all of the, and we talked about last night, go check out Sicko Season. You can see the 16 draft picks we have in the next couple of years. So we can definitely get younger here, but you always want to play free agency right. And look, that's bringing back who you need, and then you go find other pieces. And last year, we tried with CJ Gardner-Johnson. He was a dumbass, and then he got screwed by his agents, and that sucks. But we ended up bringing back Bradbury, and he was an All-Pro, coming off an All-Pro season, so that's great. But obviously, the fall off was way worse than we thought, and Slay banged up, but he had a good season. It just crazy. So this year we got to go into this thing, and I thought, Howie did great. A lot of people got hurt though, so you really can't, you never know. But let's take a look now at who the free agents are for this season. Got all 22 of them for you. There's 13 on offense, 8 on defense, 1 special teamer. So let's take a look at this full list, and then we're going to go through each and every one of them and talk about who should stay, who should go. And I'd love to hear your thoughts as we go through it. So let's look here on offense, and I kind of separate them where you see the lineman and the quarterback there. So you've got yourself 4 linemen in Driscoll, Johnson, Kelsey. Obviously, the talk is that he's retiring, but he's also saying he's going to mull it over. So we'll see there. Love to have him back, though. It's going to suck without him. But I look forward to Cam Jurgens, but love Kelsey. You just can't replace someone like him. Now, Opeta, like him, we'll talk about that. Marcus Mariota, but you see the skill position in the middle there. So you got Julio, Alberto, Penny, Scott, Stoll, Swift, Watkins, Zacchaeus, and then punter Braden Mann. Don't miss him over there on the left. And then to the right, you see all the defensive players: Bradley, Cox, Cunningham, Evans, Graham, Leonard, Morrow, and Roby. So 22 of these dudes. So you can see that. Take it all in. Don't worry. We'll look at each one of them. But you can let me know how you feel about it. And again, do not fear. I will have the show where we go over 10 ways to create space, and you'll talk about James Bradbury, all that stuff. And just to give you an idea, I do have that graphic from the other day. I always try to do this for you guys each year so we can talk about players that, you want to make. Did I get rid of? Oh, there it is. So it just shows you how their contracts work, how you save money, what, obviously people are looking at, 17 in dead money. Unfortunately, they don't understand that, post June 1st cuts, you'd only take on 3.5 million in dead money. So that's kind of different than 17. I wish people would understand. I've been trying to help them, but whatever, dude. So I'll make that show. Hope they can get that information out there so we can show people how the Eagles will create even more space, more ways for Howie to move and bring some of these people back, all that great stuff. But let's get this started with the offense here. And Obviously, we just talked about it. Jason Kelsey, still at the top of his game, 36 years old, started all 17 of those games that he played, and obviously in that playoff game as well. Regular season stats we're looking at here. So 1 sack allowed this season, had 6 penalties in 1,108 snaps, an 80.7 PFF grade. This dude, he was a beast. I couldn't get too much information I was trying to get for these offensive linemen. It, for some reason, was unavailable, this one site I was using, but whatever. But look, they're linemen, so not going to have too many crazy stats here. But Kelsey, love to have you back. Hate the fact that he might be gone, but yeah, wanted to get that one out of the way. Love him. Roderick Johnson, he went on an IR before the season started with an undisclosed injury. So I don't even know. Okay, they were stashing him there. Hopefully, he can show out this offseason. But he did absolutely nothing because, again, he was on IR. So don't think he needs to come back. But, I mean, if you want him there in camp for a minimum contract, go right ahead, 28 years old. But I think they go younger. Now, Jack Driscoll, this is somebody, he had 1 start this season, played in all 17 games, helps out on special teams. So that is key, and I like his versatility, someone that can play guard, tackle. He was, trying to help at center there. But he only allowed 1 sack, had 0 penalties. Only played in 172 snaps, though, and had a 48.4 PFF grade. So take the PFF stuff with a grain of salt, but that gives you kind of an idea that he did have his struggles. But, that one game when he came back after that game where he was horrible, he actually looked decent. So he's a depth piece, helps on special teams. If you bring him back for dirt cheap, not against it, but not going to cry if he is gone. So, right now, Kelsey, you can stay, and then the other 2, they can go. I think I would keep Driscoll, though. I think I would have him stay because he can help as that swing tackle, and he has versatility. I do like him. 26 years old, so not against it. I'd have him stay. But Opeta, I think another one where, look, he started 6 games, right guard, left guard, helping out with all those injuries, played in 13 games, and, he allowed 3 sacks, had 2 penalties, and 528 snaps, a 53.2 PFF grade. So he had his struggles, but look, he is somebody that can help at both guard positions. I know Stout likes him, so, hey, maybe you bring him back as that veteran piece, but I don't know that you have to bring all of them back. So, Driscoll and Opeta, if you want to bring them back, not, again, I'm not going to lose sleep if you don't. I would like to get some younger pieces there, but I do like Driscoll. I do like Opeta, so not against it. Those are the offensive linemen. Now let's take a gander at the quarterback here. That's Marcus Mariota, and he played in 3 games, but only threw 23 passes, completed 15 of them, at a 65.2 completion percentage there, 164 yards, touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 3 times, ran the ball 8 times, 52 yards, 6.5 yards per rush. We know Mariota is 30 years old now, and look, Tanner McKee looked really good, and I think you could just go, whether it's he or someone else, a veteran minimum, maybe he's looking for more. So I think you could go a different route here. Don't think you need him back because I think Tanner McKee could definitely be your QB2. So go for me there, but you guys can let me know how you feel about the offensive line and the quarterback there. But let's get into the skill positions, and we'll start it off with the tight ends. Alberto traded pretty much nothing for him, but was hopeful that we would have that F-type receiving tight end, and we tried it with Arnold last offseason, didn't work out. Calcaterra didn't work out. Alberto didn't work out. Now, you saw, I don't know why that's a Y instead of a U there for his name, but you saw that he really just didn't do much at all when he did get here, and played in 4 games, was targeted 1 time, didn't catch it. So, but he played the 4th most of the tight ends. It just goes to tell you we had some issues there, but I don't think Albert O is back. I think that you look to improve there. Now, Calcaterra is still on the roster, but you need to get an upgrade if he does not develop and start really showing you something as that receiving type guy. Now, the other free agent tight end, Jack Stoll, is not really he's not your F-type tight end. He is your, we talked about when we drafted him. He could play that H-back. We don't really use that, but he can block. He does have those soft hands we talk about. He can catch the ball. So caught 5 of 8 there, 38 yards, 7.6 yards per catch, no touchdowns, but a 62.5 reception percentage. 5 yards after the catch per reception. So gets the ball and, goes forward. You like to see that, man. So that's good. Dropped the ball 1 time, but he was tight end 2 this season. And I think he is important here. And He had 10 starts in those 17 games because we came out running that 12 personnel. I want to see more of that. Was really pissed off we weren't running the ball using that. I don't understand it, but I do like Jack Stoll. I think he will continue to get better in his third year. He's only 25 years old. I think I would bring him back, or fourth year. Sorry. I think that Jack Stoll is somebody I do like, and I would definitely bring him back and then still look to improve in that area because you need more than just him, because you saw 2 of the 4 are free agents here. So we'll see where they go there. Now, let's get into the wide receivers here. And the one I know you all want to talk about here is Quez Watkins. All year, people call him for his head, and 25 years old, played in 9 games this season, started 5 of them. He was targeted 21 times, caught the ball 15 times. He did have a 71.4 reception percentage, which is good. Devontae had like 72%. So he did okay. 142 yards, 9.5 yards per catch, a touchdown, 3.1 yards after the catch per reception. So he's supposed to be this home run threat. That's where I'm concerned. He didn't drop the ball. That's great. But honestly, you've seen what you need to see from him. He was the 4th receiver on this team, though, even only playing 9 games. So you saw the issues. We got to improve this room. And I don't think you're doing that by bringing him back. I know the staff likes him. I know a lot of fans like him. But he is a fast guy. And a lot of times you can trick other teams into thinking, give me a big contract. I'm fast, Chosen Anderson or whatever the hell his name is now. But Quez Watkins, maybe he goes elsewhere and gets himself paid. I don't know that it is here, and I'm not against that. Now, Julio Jones, someone we had to bring in due to some injuries going on, 34 years old, played in 11 games for us, 4 games started, only had 19 targets, 11 catches, a 57.9 reception percentage there, only 2.5 yards after the catch per reception. Did drop the ball, but he had 6.7 yards per catch. They were all little dink and dunkers, but 3 touchdowns helped us in the red zone there. And he was the 5th wide receiver on the team here. So don't think you need to bring him back. That was kind of telling as to we need to get younger there, having to bring him in at 34 years old. So I think we let Julio walk. It was fun, thinking about, oh my God, Julio Jones with A.J. Brown, but obviously just not the same guy. But the one receiver I really liked, and I thought we could get, more involved, played all 17 games, only effing started one of them, Olamide Zaccheaus. So I don't know, man. Caught the ball 50% of the time, 10 out of 20 targets, so that's not great, but 164 yards, 16.4 yards per catch. There you go. There's that home run threat. And he's not exactly like super speedster or anything, but he's got quickness, man. He can beat guys. He's a little dude, but he can play inside, outside. He had 2 touchdowns, no drops. He was the wide receiver 3, but we just did not use. He's the wide receiver 3 in snaps, but he only had 1 start. So that goes to show you how it was mismanaged here by the coaching staff, not using him. I don't care. It was 50%. It was just stupid the times you were getting him playing time with Mario, doing dumb stuff. So I need to bring him back and allow a versatile piece like him to really shine, man. And I don't know that they do, because again, I would go younger there. But I liked Olamide, and I was kind of pissed off that they did not get him more involved. Now on to the running backs, and we've got 4, and 3 of them are free agents. So let's take a gander here. Boston Scott, 28 years old. Look, he played in 15 games there, didn't get any starts, but 20 rushes, 86 yards, 4.3 yards per rush. That's good. 2 broken tackles, caught the ball 4 times on 6 targets, 52 yards, 13 yards per reception. Didn't have any touchdowns, but he had 10.8 yards after catch per reception. Now, small sample size with 4 catches, but 10.8 yards after the catch? I mean, dude, that's good. I mean, he's not Darren Sproles, but you use that kind of back. I just don't understand why. Look, we talked about Penny over and over. Why is he not playing? Well, he's running back 4. We're not even using running back 1, 2, 3, the right way. So it drove me insane. And I thought that, if you were going to have Boston Scott active on game days, why not try to use him and his skill set? But you see, the whole season here, 6 targets. What? So 20 rushes. And look, I know he's the RB3, but it's not like he really did much with the guys in front of him. Kenny Gainwell's a good passing back. He's our best one we got. So I get that he's in there and he runs stuff, but whatever. Now, the one I'm going to talk about here is I know drives people crazy. he was RB4 on this team. And I talked about that this offseason. I told you my source explained to me they just don't like him. He is the 4th on the pecking order here. So that's why he didn't play. 27 years old. So he is younger than Boston Scott, which doesn't feel that way. But, he only played 3 games with those injuries to Boston Scott and Kenny G this season and Swift. But you see 11 carries, 33 yards, only 3 yards per carry, no broken tackles, no touchdowns, caught the ball once for 5 yards, 6 yards after the catch. So must have been behind the line of scrimmage there. And he was RB4, as I explained. He only got 31 snaps here. So got to get younger there. And I think they're going to do that because, as we talked about, 3 of our 4 running backs are free agents. And I don't know that we even bring back any of them. And I would have loved to have seen Penny if he were still who he was. But as I told you, my source told me from what I saw, he just kind of wasn't the same back. And as you can see, only 3 yards per carry. Again, small sample size, but just didn't look like he was the same guy. So unfortunate that it didn't pan out how we thought, because we thought it was going to be the Penny and Swift show. And we had signed Penny before we traded for Swift. So it is what it is. But man, we could have really ran that ball down people's throats, and we just chose not to with the offensive line we effing have. But don't even get me started. So 25 years old, started 15 out of the 16 games he played. That first game Kenny G started, that was dumb. Then he ran the ball all over Tampa, which didn't let him do the other day. Okay. 229 rushes, 1,049 yards, 4.6 yards per rush, 5 touchdowns, 18 broken tackles. He had 39 catches on 49 targets, 214 yards, 5.5 yards per catch with a touchdown, 6.8 yards after catch per reception. He was RB1 this year, but I'll be honest with you, you just didn't use him the right way when you were supposed to. And, you look at the stats and it's, we ran the ball this amount of time. It's like, who cares, man? Because we didn't run when we needed to. And you look at the beginning of the game in Tampa, I knew it was over right away because 3rd and short. Oh, let's run empty set. Like, you son of a bit. And none of the 1,700 wide receivers you have on the field, not one of them is going to run a short or intermediate route. They're all running goes. Yep, that's right. 3rd and 2. We're running a go route here. We're really going to trick them. We're doing the same thing over and over. I can't stress enough to you how much that pissed me off. But you see the offense there. So let me know who you feel you would bring back here. Let me try to skim through these. Looks like there's like 30 comments. Oh, Lord. And then we'll get into this defense. But want to hear what you guys have to say. So let's get into it. We'll see what happened with the meeting there. They'll talk about all those guys. Yeah, I like him in the draft for sure. All right, let me see if there's anything on the show. Stoll, not great, but he's helpful. Yeah, he's that tight end too. That's what I mean. You got to get an upgrade there. And I've talked about that all season, so you still got an upgrade there. But again, you only have Goddard and Calcaterra. And I'm not so sure that Calcaterra even makes a team, right? So you got to add multiple pieces here. And I wouldn't mind having Stoll come back. And Quez, yeah, I think we've seen the last of him here. And bet on yourself outside. Yeah, no doubt. But we're going to be looking in this draft in free agency for weapons at wide receiver, tight end, running back. So do not fear. I'm a sicko with the free agents, just like I am with the draft. We'll break every damn position down. So to make us eat our words, wow, it was tough from the whole damn team. Kelsey, Swift, yeah, I'd love to have Kelsey come back, please, for the love of God. Don't know that Swift wants to come back. I would love to have him, but I think that Penny, Scott, and Swift could all be gone. And I think that you could get younger there, add someone with Kenny G, and add a veteran. Love to have DeAndre Swift back, but I don't know that he signs here. But I think that needs to be priority. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out, but I would bring him back. And, he's that all-around veteran. We talk about not only good in the locker room, a New Jersey kid, but, that versatile piece that plays inside, outside blocks. He does all of it. He helps in the return game. So I would like to have him back. And those other guys, yeah, they could definitely go. Don't know which one you mean. Sorry. Just trying to catch up here. But there was no Kenny there. Sorry if you got lost there. Keep Scott and Swifty. I like Boston, so we'll see if they bring him back. I know he's that versatile piece they enjoy. They can help you in special teams area. But Isaiah Rodgers is coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in that kick return game. So we'll see. But yeah, didn't use him. He just wasn't good enough. So just unfortunate. So yeah, we expected him to go back 5 years, and it just didn't happen. And as I told you, literally before the season started, and every week people tuned in, why aren't we playing? And I'm like, I'm telling you every week. I don't know why I have to keep saying it, but it was always funny. Yeah, I don't know why we didn't use him in the pass game more. Only 49 attempts there, 39 catches, was it? That's insane. And yeah, Penny just wasn't good. So that's just kind of how that happens. Probably would have cut Penny after the Swift trade. Well, no, you want to have multiple backs. You're just not going to use them every game. And people just really got caught up with that the RB4 is not going to see carries, especially when the RB1's not even seeing carries. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's that insurance, man. That's exactly what you said there. So he's a depth piece that a lot of people, they just kept coming in. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, he's just here for depth. That's it. And when he was that, a guy was out, he was the kick returner. He maybe saw 2 carries. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he didn't do too great there. But I'd love to keep Swift, but keep in mind, that's their choice. These guys are free agents, and the way we mishandled him, didn't use him, didn't run it, didn't pass it to him. It drove me crazy. It really did. I really had high expectations for this team, and they just shit all over me. I honestly feel like I could have ran the offense 10 times better. Just insane, man. Everything we broke down each week, they just, nope, not doing it. And then all of a sudden you hear all these experts and analysts repeating it. And it's like, thank you. That's literally all I've been trying to say. People, you won't quit on them. And it's like, no, dude, I'm an Eagles fan and I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm not going to whine. I want to talk about how they can fix it. So that's what we did. And they just never did it each week. Nope. And I'm like, okay, well, this week, if they do, nope, not doing it. So I don't know, man. I don't know why they hate a lot of things, man. I don't. So we'll see. Kenny Oversworth in the pass game. Well, yeah, Kenny gets that because Kenny can block. So that's just how that works. But Swift needed to be utilized in both facets of the game. And when he was out there, he could try to improve his blocking if he wants. But we'll see if he comes back. Should have 1,000 runs with at least 500 receiving. Yeah, he got the 1K rushing. But, yeah, I thought he could have been utilized way more, man. I really thought that's what was coming. And I thought Penny would be the pound and but look, ground and pound, but he was washed, man. Sorry, dude. He just wasn't, who we thought he was going to be. Well, it's not that they don't like them. It's that you have to understand how the cap works. And that's why I try to break it all down each offseason, where I show you where you're spending your money. And don't worry, we'll continue to do that throughout this season. But that's just not the positions they like to. But in a season like this, where you're like barren, and you're going to see the defense in a second, you're going to have to use those draft picks. You're going to have to use some money on linebackers. And they did. They drafted Dean. They signed some linebackers. Guys got hurt. So it is what it is, right? You got to do it again. And we will invest. We invested. We traded for a running back. We signed a running back. So, I mean, and we drafted Kenny G. So we're going to continue to draft and sign people. It's just where at. That's why I break it all down in free agency, in the draft. Where do we really need to look? When everyone's talking about Bijan Robinson, like, no, that's probably not going to happen. You got to look at where the Eagles really like to do things, where they maybe could spice it up and do things differently. Just, that's why we break this stuff down. But let's take a look now at the defense and special teams. Let me know how you're feeling. Who stays? Who goes? Starting off with special teams, Braden Mann, and I thought he did a great job. 49.8 yards per punt, 1 touchback, 16 punts inside the 20. He, even had that 4th down little trickery, 1 pass he completed there for 28 yards. So that was pretty cool. But, look, I like this kid. We brought him in. Sippos was going after 2 games, and he started the rest of the way, 15 games. And I thought he did a good job. 26 years old. He's shown toughness before on the Jets and other teams, Steelers. So I'd like to keep the kid around if he continues to improve. But you want to bring in an undrafted specimen, somebody like that, I am perfectly fine with that. We'll see what they do this all season, but wouldn't mind. Punters don't cost you that much. So why not just hold on to one that actually got the job done? And then if you want to bring in competition, do that. But let's go ahead and bring him back. Now let's jump into this defense. We're going to start it off with Bradley Roby. And we saw, last night, the entire defense, and we got a lot of young secondary pieces. But I think we're going to look to add there in this draft. And I think at cornerback especially, do not think Roby comes back. We had a lot of injuries. Maddox is back, but you've also got Zach McPherson coming back. You've got Isaiah Rodgers coming back. So well, he's just coming here. He was suspended. So I'm excited about those guys. Bradley Roby, 31 years old, played in 9 games, 2 starts. He was the 3rd cornerback on this team, actually. That just goes to show you how crazy it was in this secondary with injuries and just the musical chairs. But he allowed 20 completions on 33 targets, 60.6 completion percentage rate in there, 0 touchdowns allowed. And he did decent there, forced fumbles a couple. He did all right. But look, he's not coming back. I think that's a go for me with all the other young pieces and the other vets. There will be guys going too. Now, Justin Evans, I love this kid's game. I really do. 28 years old, only got to play 4 games, but he started 4 of them. And look, he had 2 passes deflected, forced fumble recovery, 15 tackles, didn't miss a tackle, had a 50% completion percentage when thrown at, and allowed 2 touchdowns. Didn't like that. But this dude, he plays great. The only problem is he just can't stay on the field. And the best ability is availability. And this dude, unfortunately, just has an injury history, and that sucks to say. But I don't think that Justin Evans will be back. So that would be a go for me. Unfortunately, that's just, an unfortunate part of the game. And look, I think that he's a good player. It could be a veteran help somewhere, but I don't think it's going to be here. You got to get younger at safety, not just at corner. So look to the draft there. Looking forward to getting Sidney Brown back. So pumped up, but I would look elsewhere. Now at linebacker, we've got Sean Bradley. Missed all of this season. You can see I put 2022 stats for him. So he played in those 15 games in 2022, had 7 tackles. He was a special teamer, but then he missed all of this season. So you can see what he really brings to the table, and that's special teams help. And hey, look, that's an important part of the game. So if you can get him on a cheap contract, hometown Temple kid, I would happily bring back Sean Bradley, but it's not going to be for anything crazy. That's just for depth. Showed some promise there in the preseason that, he was improving as a linebacker, not just a special teamer. So, hey, maybe you get a diamond in the rough there, bring him back for nothing. Got to have something there because right now we only have Nakobe Dean and Ben Van Sumeren. Everybody else is an effing free agent here. So we're going to be talking about 4 linebackers here. So 4 of our 6 are free agents here. So that's the first of them, and I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Now, this guy, he's a little bit older when it comes to wear and tear. 28 years old, so not too old, but we had him for 5 games. He started 3. He did okay, and, a couple of the games looked okay, and then sometimes it was like, oh, he's, definitely getting a little rusty there, but had a sack, a couple tackles for a loss, quarterback hit, 71.4 completion percentage allowed a touchdown there, but look, we needed somebody. We brought him in, try to get some help there. But I think, again, you need to get younger there. I'm looking in the draft. I'm looking to sign a free agent that's a little bit on the younger side. So that would be my idea. Don't think I'm bringing back Shaq Leonard. Now up next, Nicholas Morrow. He started 12 games for us out of 15, and he started the season not even on the roster. We talked about it probably because of the cap reasons, but 28 years old. You could see, man, he stacked up some stats here for us, man. 95 tackles, led the way the linebackers here, but he had 6 missed tackles. He had 3 sacks, 12 tackles for a loss. I mean, he did some work there. 65.5 completion percentage allowed 3 touchdowns though. So he did decent, and he was our linebacker 1 this year. But again, I would like, Dean to be healthy, show us what he's got, but I would add pieces around him. Again, veteran and in the draft here. So got to look to change up the linebacker room. But I would bring back one of these veterans. So maybe it's Morrow, 28 years old. So I'm not sure we go that route, but I mean, I'm not against it. He looked good at times. And then there were other times you're just like, whoa, no thanks. So again, I'm going younger. And we'll talk about a lot of free agents, a lot of draft picks. Do not fear. But Zach Cunningham here, 29 years old, started 10 out of the 13 games he played. And he did pretty well here, 85 tackles, but he had 8 missed tackles. And then that playoff game, he had some missed tackles. That was driving me insane. But 75.9 completion percentage allowed. Not great, but only 1 touchdown there. He was our linebacker 2 this year, dealt with some injuries, but I don't want anyone over 28. I want somebody younger, healthy. And that's not just, that doesn't mean anything. Anybody can get hurt, but I'm looking to get younger there, and I hope the Eagles do that. Now let's finish it up with the last couple here on the defensive line, and we'll start it off with Big Fletch. My man, 33 years old, started 15 of the 15 games he played, had 5 sacks this year, 17 quarterback hits, 28 pressures, a forced fumble recovery, 2 passes deflected, 33 tackles, 3 tackles were lost, and he did miss 2 missed tackles, but that's great, man. Fletcher Cox at 33, still being able to do that, amazing. He was defensive tackle number 1 this year. I mean, incredible. But look, he took a team-friendly deal to come back and try to win this Super Bowl. Watching how this team played, I don't know that he wants to come back. If they're implementing a new defense, doing all this stuff, and I love the dude, and I hope, he would take another hometown discount. But if he is still playing at a high level and someone's going to pay him, I love Fletch, man, and I think he's earned it. If he wants to go play somewhere, wants to go to Florida or something, makes big money, God, whatever makes you happy, big dude. But I'd love to have you back another year to help these vets just be, another one of those death pieces, maybe not defensive tackle 1 anymore, but if you still got some left in the tank, help these younger guys. I'm all about it. Love Fletcher Cox. Always going to be one of my favorite Eagles. So I would have him stay if he comes for the right price here. Now, the final free agent here, my favorite on this list. Cox, Kelsey, I mean, it kind of just tied there. But Brandon Graham, man, how can you not love this dude? 35 years old. I think I've just loved him the longest because he's been here the longest. But I think that was the last jersey my father owned was Brandon Graham, his rookie season. What was it? Number 55, 54. My brother still has it hung up. It's pretty cool. But 17 games played, didn't start any, but maybe that's the role that Fletcher Cox could take if he comes back. And look, 3 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, 11 pressures, 1 pass deflected. He had, some other stats there you see, but he was the 3rd of our edge rushers there, only 428 snaps. We didn't use our death pieces as much as Gannon did, and I think that kind of hindered us. But regardless, he has shown he's still got some left in the tank, and he can play all over, man. He's still playing inside, outside. The dude, sometimes they drop him in coverage. Don't do that. But 35 years old, and this man is still balling. And he said he would love to come back, have his farewell tour, one last year here, and, give it one last run. And I think that would truly be awesome. So for me, that's a stay for Brandon Graham there. But love to hear your thoughts on the defense. Maybe just tuned in on the offense. We just looked at all that. I'll show you again in a second here, that full list again, just in case you missed it. But I see a plethora of comments here. So let me run on over here real quick. So, keep everyone on special teams. Yeah, I would, I'd keep Braid, man. I like the dude, for sure. So, yep, I agree 100% with you guys. I would, definitely keep him. I haven't had a solid, but yeah, exactly. Doug Johnson or what? Yeah, no doubt. I thought, we did, you got me like rethinking my brain now, trying to think of what the hell his name is. Can't think of it. Went to the Texans. Not the one we just had, not him. I'm losing. Doug Jones. Oh, why can I not think of it? Losing my mind. Roby Go. Yeah, I don't think he's here. I don't think any of those guys I just showed you, they're definitely not staying here. I don't know that Evans would stay. Just too much. I don't know that he'll sign anywhere just with that injury history. But hey, he's a good veteran piece. He could definitely get some work somewhere. So best of luck to him either way. Bradley, that's exactly what I was saying there. I like the dude. So let's go. Appreciate you tuning in, Liz. Going through these stay or go. We just looked at everybody, but I'll show you the full list here. You guys can tell me how you feel about it. But I like Evans. It's just unfortunate. We talked about it when we signed him. Is he going to stay healthy? And sure enough, played 4 games and he was out the season. So very unfortunate. Shaq, no thanks. He definitely looked like he lost a big step there. So got to get younger there, in my opinion. I wouldn't keep Morrow, Cunningham, or Leonard. I would keep Bradley just for depth purposes. He and Ben Van Sumeren can battle it out for the special teamer depth spot. And then you have Dean, but then you sign a veteran, draft somebody, sign 2 veterans, maybe bring back one of those vets if you want, but you got to have some competition here. So maybe Morrow, maybe Cunningham, maybe Leonard. I don't know about that, but we'll see, man. I think Leonard, maybe if he can get healthy, I know he was coming back from that big injury there. So maybe, if he gets a little healthier, he could come back. So yeah, you got to add to that room though. You have to. So yeah. And I mean, you could keep Zach, you could, a lot of different things, but Cox, I'd love to have. I just felt like he was going to leave last year and he almost did. So I'm glad he stayed, and I would love to have him back again, and I would love to have Brandon Graham. Please, God. I think that Brandon Graham will, but I don't know that Cox will come back. So we'll see. But Cam Johnson, I like him too, but not him. I'm thinking of Jones, Daniel Jones, but I keep thinking of the quarterback. It just keeps coming to my head. I don't know why I keep doing it. It was Jones. I know it was. Losing it, man. I could literally sit here and tell you like players from like 1992 off the top of my head, and I'm just losing it anymore, man. I hate it. Yeah, whoever's telling you that is a moron, dude. They're not getting rid of any of those players. Yeah, don't listen to people like that. Confused now. Cameron Johnston. I think that's who we're talking about. Donnie Jones is who I was thinking of. Son of a bitch, man. Holy hell. But Cam Johnson's another good one. But whoo. But Liz, hope you enjoyed your work. In case you missed any of this, let's take a gander again at this full list of all 22 of those players we just looked at here. You can see that I separated the offense here, the skill position from the quarterback and offensive line. And then the defense is all the way to the right. Braden Mann sitting there hiding under that left spot there. Excuse me. But 22 total. You got 13 on offense, 8 on defense, and 1 special teamer there. So, holy Lord, a lot of free agents, a lot of decisions to be made there. But we went through it. And honestly, that handful of guys that we talked about that you could possibly keep. Matter of fact, let me bring that right back up real quick because I mean, Driscoll, okay. Kelsey, I'm praying to God comes back. So really, Driscoll's the only one that I'd be like, all right. And Opeta, I wouldn't mind. Then Braden Mann, yes. So let's say around 2 right there. Skill positions, give me DeAndre Swift if he wants to come back. Give me Alameda. Give me Stoll. So that's 3 there. I could say about 5. And then on the defensive side of the ball, definitely give me Fletch and BG if they'll come back. And maybe Sean Bradley. Other than that, so maybe 8 of these guys, so maybe a little bit more than I thought I would offer some things to. Now, maybe about 5 of them, obviously the ones Kelsey, BG, Fletch, those are the ones, hold near and dear to our heart. So if they would sign a team-friendly deal, of course we want to have them back. Those other pieces, not going to lose sleep over it. I would like to have Mann back, though, because it's nice to have a decent punter. If you want to give him competition, please do. But Sav Rocca, oh my God, that's hilarious. The old rugby player definitely is not Jordan Mailata, but the Australian in there. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That was your stay or go for the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles free agents, all 22 of them. If you missed any of it, you can go back. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. You're watching this later. Feel free to tell me who you've got a list of. You can list them out. Who's staying? You don't have to list who's going. Obviously, you can just tell me who stays and make it much easier for yourselves, probably. 22 of those bad boys. But, hey, maybe you've got some on the bubble there. You've got some decisions in your head. Let me know about it. But don't worry about all that free agency and draft stuff. I'll be giving you lists here real soon of all the free agents that are coming up available in the league. All of the draft stuff's coming. Oh, yeah, you sickos. I hope you're strapped in because this sicko season, it's going to truly be wild. So I don't know if this fan's like blowing dust in my eyes. I'm like all of a sudden crying. Please, I want the season back. Okay. Anyways, I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time here tonight. If you got anything from this video, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. You can always subscribe to the channel. And look, I can't thank you enough. Every time you tune in, you comment, all that stuff you're doing, it truly helps. The sharing this stuff, I really can't thank you enough. You guys mean the world to me. So hope you all have yourselves a great rest of your night. If you need anything, you have any questions about this, you have anything on your mind, you want to talk about something else, there's plenty of other videos out there, all that stuff. But do not fear. Very soon, I think maybe even tomorrow, you're going to get the 10 ways the Eagles can create cap space. So you'll see some of these players that aren't free agents, how we can clear up some space by getting rid of them, what the impact would be on the cap. I'll keep you up to date with everything you need to know this all season. If you guys ever have any questions, anything on your mind, you'd like to see something you don't think that I'm putting out there, let me know. I will always do all I can to give you the information that you need. And yeah, I can't wait for the draft stuff for sure. And look, I appreciate you tuning in, taking in all this info. You guys know it takes me forever to put this stuff together. So try to, you know how it's going to come at you this sicko season. You're going to get loads of information thrown at you. So I hope you guys will keep tuning in. And look, I seriously mean it. You ever have questions? You ever have anything on your mind, or you feel like, damn it, I wish I could have asked this, or you want me to, just kind of emphasize on something, or go, whatever it may be, I am here. And the off season sucks. Let's all be real with ourselves. Nobody enjoys the off season. So I put hours worth of work into this show today because I know how painful it is. And I want you sickos to be able to get through this damn off season. And we got to do it together. This was shit. This past game, this past couple of months, horrendous. I just don't even want to think about it. It hurts. It sucks. And that's why this train is moving. Sicko season, it has commenced. So check out that video from last night, the draft picks, all that stuff. This one's got loads of information. If you guys, miss anything, ask away. I'm always here for you guys. But hope you're having a great week. I'm sure you're getting it from everybody, everywhere. Dude, I can't take it. Even the passive aggressive stuff. Oh, sorry about you. Like, bro, I can't do it. So I'm going to try to provide you guys with as much content as I possibly can so we can just suppress all of this, pretend it never happened, and keep moving. But Tiffany, thank you so much. Liz, thank you. All of you, thank you. Dank. Ted, my man, damn it, just coming in, bro. Loads of information here, and I know you are a true diehard. One of my favorites that's tuning in here, and I know you've always got great questions. So if you do rewatch this, my man, do me a favor, comment on this bad boy, because I'm always down to talk some birds. And you got any questions on these 22 free agents I just showed you, or any thoughts on the cap, or questions about it, anything like that? I showed you guys that earlier. Obviously, you could see what was talked about here, but thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And Howie is definitely, he's a nut, dude. So we are going to break all this down, what Howie is going to try to be doing throughout this offseason. And I can't wait to talk about the free agents. That's coming up. Then the draft comes after that. And I'll sprinkle it all in together. And once those things actually kind of get close, we'll emphasize more on like what we need to. You guys know that, tune in how it goes. But if you're new to it, have any questions, fire away. But if not, strap in and enjoy the ride, baby. Appreciate you tuning in, my man, Big Jim. And that's right, you know it. But I appreciate each and every one of you. You know this team got to build around these young pieces we've got. So I agree with you 100%. Going to come back learning from this. And we're going to not be making those same stupid-ass mistakes. We're going to help Hurts against the blitz. We're going to run the ball. This defense is going to be competent. Let's put it out there right now, baby. But I hope you all have a great rest of your night. If you need me, feel free to reach out. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You have yourselves a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!